Good morning. This is Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers, and this is Tuned In Tarot. And we are about to take a look at the Empress energy for this week. We are focusing entirely on the Divine Feminine, and I'm going to take my Wi-Fi off. There. Hello. Thanks for joining me this morning. I think my Wi-Fi was slowing things down. How are you this morning? We are going to take a look now at Divine Feminine energy. I have designed a spread. Yesterday, I used my obstacles remove spread to take a look at the Empress and what was keeping the feminine from being in her Divine Feminine energy. And this morning, I have designed a releasing spread because I realized with that obstacle spread, it's like, okay, you have to release this. And then it's like, how? So we're going to look at how we can have some assistance in releasing the things that don't serve us. And we can still use this tail end of the full moon energy to be able to enhance this releasing process. So if you already did your ritual, it doesn't matter. This is just going to amplify the release energy for you. So I decided I'm going to start with a goddess right out the gate. And what's really interesting is, if you follow me regularly, you know that I normally look at the balance between the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine. But for a week, I needed to take a break from that story. And just tell the story of how to empower Divine Feminine energy, because it seemed important for me to do that for myself, and also it was a directive for the collective, which I wanted to honor. So it's interesting because while I would really like to focus on Divine Feminine, we're getting the goddess energy, which says today Isis and Osiris. So this is like a twofold energy, which is obviously masculine and feminine. But remember that that balance that I look at is really supposed to be the balance within yourself. And the only reason that I was taking a pause with it is because we have a tendency as feminines in the collective. And that doesn't mean gender. That means the energy inside, the feminine energy, has this tendency to be fixated on the one. And so we needed to relieve ourselves from that story pertaining to a particular person. However, the energy inside of ourselves, the balance of Isis and Osiris, is still important to honor. It's just understanding that the masculine energy we're talking about is your own. In ancient Egypt, Isis was among the oldest of the goddesses, the mother and giver of all life. A moon goddess, she gives birth to the sun, creates and sustains all life, and is the savior of all people. The teacher of agriculture, she is also the goddess of medicine and wisdom. Osiris was her brother and husband. When Osiris was murdered by his brother Set, Isis searched for and found him, revived him, and conceived their son Horus. When Set again took Osiris and scattered his body in 14 pieces, Isis hunted down each piece except for his reproductive organs, which she was unable to locate, in order to give each piece a proper burial. Love that for him. Isis is the universal goddess representing total femininity. She can overcome death itself, yet she is not above grief. One of her tears wept when Osiris was dying caused the Nile River to flood. She underscores the depths of emotion that even a goddess must feel. So, interesting that we're getting the universal goddess representing total femininity. And in that total femininity, she was on this journey of piecing together her twin flame. Little, incestuous there, but, things were different back then, I guess. Anyway, I'm really thinking that we're looking at this brother-husband situation as this twin flame thing. Now, our story we were supposed to release yesterday, if you did the obstacles removed spread with me, is the twin flame story. So here it is for us right out the gate that we're here to discuss it today. And it's interesting to think about the process that Isis had to go through to piece herself together, right? Because the masculine is a representation of that imbalance in self. All right, let's get started. So for the spread for this morning, we're going to look at the general energy just at first. And then the bottom of the deck this morning is going to represent something hidden that is going to assist us in the process of releasing the stuff that we need to release from yesterday. So the top of the deck for the headspace today, I'm using Mystic Monday's deck. is the Star in reverse. And the heart space, I'm using the Muse Tarot today, is the 10 of materials, also known as the 10 of pentacles, if you're using typical terminology. All right, so the general energy right now is interesting. The Star is a little bit of hopelessness, the Star in reverse, because the Star is about hope. So when it's in reverse, there is a sense here that we're trying to be hopeful. It's not like we don't have any hope at all. We're just really working to be hopeful that we're going to be able to actually achieve a material, our 10 of Pentacles, material well-being, prosperity, abundance, family, everything that we're desiring. What is basically blocked for us right now, that is what we're being hopeful about. That through this healing process that we have been engaging in, because the Star card has this healing energy, which of course is also the Divine Feminine doing this work, that we're now going to be able to achieve what it is that we desire. And that's why we're here. We're looking at this energy so that we can kind of assess, how do I get my hope back about this 10 of Pentacles since I'm having to release something? Now, what's really interesting is something hidden that will assist you. It's really strange. First of all, it's the 10 of Pentacles in the headspace, which we just saw in the heart space. So the hidden thing that is going to help assist you is actually this material well-being, which is like, okay, no shit. Like, what does that mean? Well, what it means is having a lot of clarity, having a lot of mental clarity about what will make you happy in the material and make you happy and please you. So this is being very clear, writing down exactly what it is that you want in an open enough way that you're not attached to specific outcomes. So for instance, let's say you want to be on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills someday, like me. You need a house in Beverly Hills, right? To do that, you got to have a zip code over there if you want to get on the show to begin with. I mean, that's all I need. Once I get the zip code and I audition, they're going to be like, bitch, come on the show, right? So in my mind, if I write down, I want a Beverly Hills mansion, and I don't have it's not like I drove around Beverly Hills, I saw a specific house, I'm like, this house, which I mean, you can do that too, but it's just the more open you are to the attachment or to the manifestation, the less attachment that you have to it, the more likely you are to be able to see a return on your investment. So you want to get very clear about what you want. Apparently, I should also be looking for eligible Beverly Hills bachelors too. Unless I just want to be there myself. But regardless, I'm supposed to be a Beverly Hills housewife to get on the show. So I guess I should probably marry one of those guys or ladies. But anyway, you want to get clarity. Like, you just really want to have an understanding of what it is that you really do desire. And this is honestly something hidden, which means that you might not even have gotten to the core of what you desire yet. You might not even really know what that is. The other thing that is hidden that will assist you is the Knight of Inspiration or Knight of Wands in reverse. And I think this is interesting because my instinct is that this is an individual who is not in the light traits of the Knight of Wands, is actually kind of being a pain in the ass. Inconsistent behavior, not showing up, passionate outbursts, like a lot of sexual energy associated in this. So it's interesting that this hidden thing, that there's this hidden aspect that would assist you. And so what I'm guessing is understanding that you attract this energy because there's something within you that is just as inconsistent, just as passionate but unwilling to stick around, just as reckless and careless, and understanding that this person that you maybe complain about or aggravates you, or could be like your twin flame energy that's a real, like really triggering you, this hidden thing, this hidden aspect is actually something within you, and it will assist you to go and look within at this energy. All right, the first position is, what past experience do I need to release? So if you didn't do the obstacles removed spread yesterday, or you don't have your release things ready for the new moon, this can just give you a little more information. You can, of course, bring what you needed to release yesterday, which was Queen of Swords, overthinking energy. I can't remember the other card. Nine of Cups in reverse. So it was like this constantly thinking about how your wishes couldn't be fulfilled, or having a specific wish or something like that, something to do with wish fulfillment. So that was in the spread from yesterday. Now let's take a look today and see what past experience that maybe caused the thing we need to release that we now need to release. Okay. In the headspace, I don't have these cards are not flipped over, so I don't know what we're getting until we're getting them here. But in the headspace, we have this Ace of Swords. And in the heart space, we have this Ace of Pentacles. So, the past experience that you need to release is that when you were really very honest with yourself, with this Ace of Swords energy, when you looked truthfully at an offer that you really wanted, that was on the table, this thing that seemed so good to you, that you're now fixated upon. You saw it, it wasn't good enough, but you held on to that offer. You didn't release it, you just kept it, you just held it. Even though you could see that it was not a good enough offer. Good morning, Mama Luna. Thanks for joining us. So this is what you need to release. This is the past experience. You looked, you were honest with yourself, and you saw that this Ace of Pentacles that was on the table was not what you actually wanted or intended for it to be. It did not match your 10 of Pentacles, right? It was not fully revealed yet. That's the other thing about the general energy here. Your 10 of Pentacles hasn't been fully revealed. We don't know yet what the energy is, or what this constitutes. That's why the hidden, something hidden that will assist you is getting a lot of clarity about what that 10 of Pentacles really is. All right, the next position is, what can I do right now in this moment to soothe myself? Because that's going to help assist us with this release, because it's very difficult to release a past experience. So what can I do right now to soothe myself? I can't with this goddamn reading. We're getting the High Priestess in reverse for the head space, and the Emperor in reverse for the heart space. So what can I do to soothe myself right now? Well, it's interesting. We're again back at this twin flame thing, which we looked at yesterday, which was the obstacle we had. Because High Priestess energy is twin flame. We started out the reading with this Goddess energy of twin flame, and now we're looking at the Emperor, and this is a reading that's about the Empress. But we're using the Muse Tarot, and of course the Emperor in the Muse Tarot is the Divine Feminine in her Emperor energy. That's why we're using this deck today, because we're not really that interested in what masculine energy is doing. We're interested in what feminine energy must do to come into her power. Divine Feminine, trusting in your intuition and releasing the urge to control the situation, and releasing the twin flame that you have to do something to be able to get this Emperor to come to you. Remember Isis, which for some reason I started the reading with? What did she do? When Set took Osiris and scattered his body in 14 pieces, Isis hunted down each piece except for his reproductive organs. I just have to throw that in. She was like, I don't need that. While he was gone, I got something else and it works better. She's like, listen, babe, I found all of you, but I couldn't find that. I mean, we could put something else there for now, you know, like something different. It doesn't have to get soft and doesn't have to slow down, you know. While you were gone, I found this amazing invention called a strap-on, Osiris. Anyway, Divine Feminine still working on this release of a twin flame story. I was watching Drag Race Untucked the other day for hours, and I was listening to Courtney Act talk about her moment of revelation when she had won Australian Idol as a drag queen, which is amazing. And all these amazing, incredible things were happening for her. She was playing for these shows, like 14,000 people and everything. And it was just so overwhelming and amazing, incredible. And she felt awful. And she like went into this alley and she was crying. She felt so terrible. And all of a sudden she heard a voice that said, there is nothing wrong with you. You are not broken. And she realized that moment, her whole perspective shifted. And it was no longer that she was having to fix something, or that there was something imbalanced, or that there was something wrong with her. That she was like, there isn't anything wrong with me. I'm absolutely perfect in this moment, as I am. And that changed everything for her. And so this is your moment. This is the thing that will soothe you. Going out into the alley, crying, releasing all those worries and fears. I just did that this morning. The process yesterday from the Mother Mary Oracle, which we're going to use again because I thought it was very beautiful. It's said to give all your worries to the Divine Mother. And then I listened to a Mystic Moon Oracles reading this morning about the spiritual journey, because I'm not listening to readings about Twin Flame right now, as commanded by Spirit. And in that reading, she also talked about, she pulled a card for the ritual that we should do right now. And it was to write down all of your worries, everything you're worried about, and then worry about them for 1 minute. Like set a timer and worry about them for 1 minute, and then vow to yourself that after that minute it's gone. You worried about it, you processed it, you don't have to think about it anymore, and you give it to your higher power. And so this is that same thing. You are not broken. There is nothing wrong with you. You're not out of balance. The fact that divine masculine energy or the manifestation that you're trying to achieve or whatever isn't here yet, it is not an indication that there is something wrong with you. It is just an indication that the divine has a plan for you that you have asked for, and you just need to go along with it and stop trying to control and be so rigidly fixated on one particular story or person or thing. So it will be very soothing right now to just trust your intuition. Stop trying to worry so much about how to fix things. What can I expect to encounter as I make space for new energy? So these are some of the things that are going to come up as you go through this process of releasing. Releasing has grief involved. Releasing has usually like physical things that you're releasing, cleaning your environment, doing like anything you're doing in the physical environment is it's like soothing to the mind. Like even doing your dishes and having a clean kitchen, something like that. You're cleansing the space, you're clearing the space, you're preparing it for nourishment. So this is what we're looking at in this position. What can you expect to encounter as you're clearing the space? My God, I'm sorry. If you saw my obstacles removed reading yesterday, the future position, which is this third position that I use, had one card in it. And the sixth position, which is the clarifier, had another card in it. And they are both in my hand right now. One of them is from a different deck. The other is from the same deck, which put it in the same position. What you can expect to encounter as you're clearing this space is the Lovers. Remember yesterday that if you release the block, the twin flame journey, that you are inviting in other opportunities for physical union. And then look who's here again. The King of Cups, who was here yesterday as what you could expect if you removed the block. So if you're uncertain that what I am telling you is true, if you are uncertain that when I say to you, you must let go of the person that you think, or the job that you think, or the thing that you think is going to make you happy, you must let go of this. This spread is going to help you learn how to release this person, because you must, because this is what you want, and this is what you want, and these come to you if you are honest with yourself and release this energy. Okay? Trust and believe, honey. I shuffle these decks, okay? What behaviors have gotten in my way in the past? Jesus H. Christ. The Two of Swords in the headspace, and look at this. The High Priestess again. It's twice in the heart space. Twin flame. Okay? Two of Swords, not being willing to make a choice, because if you make this choice, you're going to hurt this person, and if you make that choice, you're going to hurt yourself. And so you're just sitting there waiting for the divine to make a choice for you because you're afraid of the outcome and you're just really reluctant to do it yourselves. This behavior has been really problematic for you. Just standing still and not taking any action at all is not very helpful. And it's interesting to see the High Priestess as a behavior that's gotten in your way. And what I think this is you have been, if you're a reader, I just saw my friend Kylie. Oh, this is from the Muse Tarot. Isn't this gorgeous? My friend Kylie yesterday was saying, wait, I just lost my train of thought. Nope, it's completely gone. Maybe it'll come back to me. But the high priestess is this, it's being intuitive and psychic. Oh, I know what it was. She sent me these answers to another reader had asked questions like, you know, what kind of readings do you want to see most often? And what types of individuals are watching it? Are there readers watching it, or is it just people that are querents? And it was basically 60% were readers. So you might consider yourself a reader. You might consider yourself intuitive or psychic and sensitive. And even if you're just a querent, you might still experience this because, pardon the garbage trucks outside. I'm sorry about that. I got a late start today, so we get this exciting noise for us to accompany this reading. But you might be constantly listening to readings. You might be constantly doing readings. You might be constantly trying to figure this out and find out this mystery or whatever. And this behavior isn't serving you either. So these are the things that you really need to stop doing. And look at her hand. Stop. Because constantly doing that is indicating what? That you don't trust yourself. Because you know the answer. You know the answer. You just don't like the answer. You know it. You worry about it because you don't want it to be true. But in your heart of hearts, when you are in tune, which you are because you're here, you know the answer. So stop going and seeking the answer outside of yourself when you do know that answer within yourself. And your ego is the one that keeps asking the cards. Your ego's like, nope, that wasn't satisfactory. Nope, I'm not satisfied by that either. And no, and no, and no, because I want what I want, and I want what I want. And even if what I want is not serving me, because I'm the ego and I love to protect myself from experiences I'm afraid of. That's my job, right? What can I do now to avoid this behavior? Okay, interesting. In the headspace, Knight of Cups. What does the Knight of Cups do? The Knight of Cups rides his emotion. He goes with the flow of his emotion. He's expressive And he holds his cup in a manner that it can be filled up. You can pour into the cup that he has. He can also pour into your cup. So what you can do now to avoid this Two of Swords behavior and this constantly having to like seek out these answers, you can just go with the flow. This is also underneath this High Priestess in reverse and the Emperor in reverse. The Emperor in reverse is somebody who's relinquished control. Going with the flow is what happens when you relinquish control. And in the heart space, we're seeing the Seven of Swords in reverse, which means stop hiding. You are hiding and masking emotions. That's what this is about. When you're just sitting there and you're not doing anything, it's because you're hiding how you truly feel. You are afraid if you express how you truly feel, the situation will be over. So instead, you go within and you seek these hidden meanings and hidden truths, and you make assumptions about the stuff that you don't know. But if you want to avoid this behavior from the past, you need yourself to be completely expressive. You need to stop strategizing and just allow things to flow as they are meant to. This is going to help you release. And then this is what makes this spread our Empress releasing spread, because the final position is what is growing within me as I move on. So what am I gestating? What am I bringing into the world? Interesting. We're getting the Magician in reverse in the headspace. And we're getting the Nine of Swords in reverse in the heart space. And this is very beautiful because what you're growing within you is a release of your fears, anxieties, and worries, which I just wrote down today and gave to the divine. It was like, all right, you take it because I can fucking deal. I cannot make this work. I can't make this work. And this is another thing. This is very interesting. You are growing this willingness to give up your power. To give up the power that these worries, fears, anxieties have over you. And to shift into an energy of co-creation. So the Magician in reverse is about thinking you can do it all on your own. And so it's these fears and worries that you can't do it on your own, that you are growing, that you are releasing, that is what happens as you finally release this energy. This offer that wasn't good for you, this awareness you had about your own wealth and prosperity and your ability to manifest it. You have to release these worries and anxieties. So do the activity that I suggested, or that was suggested by Mystic Moon Oracles today. Write down all of your worries. I filled 3 pages because my morning pages, I do 3 pages. So I just used my morning pages and I just made myself write down things I was worried. I was crying. I mean, it was a whole thing. I was like, oh my God. Like the last thing I wrote down, I was like, and then Divine Masculine is going to find someone else and I'm going to have to be happy for him. And then I'm just going to have no one and die alone. Like, was sobbing. Like I couldn't even write because there was like tears on my page and my pen was blurring them. And it honestly almost felt good to speak. Not almost, it did feel good. It felt good to speak all of that, to get all of it out of me, because I keep thinking about it. When you write something down, it is magic. You know, people come here and they're learning about their powers and they find out that they're magic, and they're not aware that just writing something down is magic. Just saying something is magic. Magic is not just, you know, burning incense and like making potions. It's like the words we speak and write. So I highly encourage you to do that process. Write it all down. And then I wrote at the top from the card we used yesterday, after I wrote everything down, I wrote, Mother Mary, who loves me unconditionally, please help me now. I hand over my problems to you and ask for peace. Help me know when to act and when to wait, and help me find the best way through this situation. And then you just really have to surrender it. If I find myself worrying about that, I have to say, no, you gave this up. You surrendered this worry. And when you truly surrender it, it can't have power over you anymore. That's the other thing. No more power over you. All right, let's look at your oracles to help you come into balance today. You are getting, the moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. And oneness is my true nature from the Gabrielle Bernstein, The Universe Has Your Back deck. So the moment that you realign with love, what was interesting is your block yesterday was your Ace of Cups. And when we align with love, we have to align with our self-love first. So the moment you do that, the moment you align with how much Source appreciates and loves you, wants you to be successful, wants you to be happy, all of that, then your clear direction that you need is presented to you. Oneness is your true nature, right? Look at this. This is our goddess for today. She came as a pair, Isis and Osiris, but her true nature is just one. You are not separate. That is an illusion. There is no true separation. Only that in the mind. You're in the light attributes right now of the Prince energy. So you have this romantic charm and a potential for power, which is nice because you're clearing the space for new love. Allow that to come in. You're getting play music. So if you are creative in any way, engage in your creativity. If you're not a musician and you're just an artist or writer or any type of artist at all, just go deep into your practice. If you are a lover of music, and I'm assuming you are because Tuned In Tarot is all about music, which by the way, there was a Smith song playing today, but I don't remember what it was. It was on my phone because my computer is being weird, and so it's the whole thing. But I'll try to think of what, I'll try to go back and post it afterwards because it's in my history of songs. I just forgot. But normally I play music and we get messages from music to help guide the reading. So go do this. Listen to music today. Listen to the messages you're receiving from music. And then we're getting our good old friend, this retreat card. The whole reason we're doing this Empress energy, divine feminine focus, is because we got this retreat card on Monday. And the advice was to retreat from what wasn't serving us, which was the storyline, and that is what we've been doing. So we're still in this energy, and we're still being told to stay in this energy, continue the retreat. It was difficult for me. This is my third day. I'm also not smoking because I'm supposed to do, I'm recording my single next Tuesday and Wednesday. So I wanted to give my voice a break because I have butchered it by smoking over 250 joints in the last couple of months. Oh my God. And the only reason I know that is because I have this thing of 200 tips, and this is the second jar that I got. So it's not good. And I would go to sing, and like my top of my voice would be like, ah. I was like, okay, I should probably not be a chronic cannabis smoker anymore for a minute. So I'm even retreating from that. I'm retreating from communication with my divine masculine, listening to twin flame readings, and cannabis. It's been a couple of days, hunty. And this morning I was like, I want to watch my favorite readers. And I couldn't. And I was like, I want to do it. But I honored the retreat. I said, what, you can't not listen to it for 7 days? What if not listening to it for 7 days is the thing that makes you come into union? Because that is literally what the divine said. The divine was like, bitch, if you do that, you'll come into union. And so if I'm like, oh no, but I still need to listen and I still need to do it. So this is a reminder for you. If you haven't done this, do it. If you're still sending messages, stop. If you're still watching twin flame readings, no. retreat. Okay. Truth. The truth will set you free. And it did. This was the past experience that you need to release. Finding out the truth. But this liberates you. And what did you find out the truth about? I believe it was about this narcissism. You sniffed out finally for yourself the narcissist empath paradigm. And you recognized it and you realized that you didn't want to engage in it anymore. Now you must balance your spirituality and your practicality. So you have a deeply profound spiritual life, but that is where you have been stuck. In this ethereal fifth dimension with your twin. Well, you can stay there if you want to, but then this is going to be really difficult for you to manifest because you're only manifesting on a spiritual level and you're not doing the work on the material level to get what you need. So you must balance your spirituality with the material. You're getting an emphasis on this. Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, and the divine plan. Trusting in the divine plan is the thing that helps us the most. I'm trying to think. When I first started reading, it was really difficult for me to feel comfortable, which is interesting, telling people to trust in God. And it's because of the associations we have with that. And as I've done this work more and as I've seen the truth and as I've come to know God more, I understand that this is really the true purpose of the journey. That you are on a journey assigned to you by the divine. And that the control you're trying to force is just bringing you grief. So trust in this divine plan. And then we're getting for our Mother Mary Oracle for today. And remember, this is by Elena Fairchild, and she's an incredible writer, but she does write kind of long messages, but they're so beautiful that I am going to share them. And we're getting this gorgeous Our Lady of the Rose Child. And I love that we're getting this baby here today because we talked about what we were growing within us. And we were growing this release of the power that our thoughts, worries, and anxieties have over us. And so that's almost like this little baby right here. That is what we're about to bring into fruition. So this is what's really interesting is I just opened up to the card from yesterday by accident and it was 32 and today's card is 23. So it's like the reverse of that number. Just trying to find the page. Here we go. You are my rose child, born of agony and ecstasy. In sorrow and joy, I am with you and you are growing. In darkness and light, I am with you and you are growing. In death and new life, I am with you and you are growing. The thorn and the bloom, both of the rose. In the midst of your suffering, you are in the birthing pains of new life. I cherish you, my heavenly rose child. Do not fear the darkness of life. It is necessary for your light to be made manifest. I am your mother, the midwife for the birth of your soul and the defender of your heart. Surrender and trust me. Torn open by suffering, you have become vulnerable and compassionate. Strengthened through joy, you become light of spirit and accepting of all of life. You are her rose child. To become what you are, you have endured the agony of breaking open as a seed, found inner strength to push down roots, and the focused intention to rise above the earth. You have been thorns and branches, finding ways to protect yourself from predators as you reach out to the light. And now your heart, the fragrant blooming rose, is opening. This process repeats as we transform and become capable of receiving more life force. growing into a bigger manifestation of soul light upon the earth. At such points on the path, we come into direct contact with the divine. This isn't always what we think it will be. Though the mother loves and protects her holy child, which is your own soul, beloved, she does not try to stop that child from growing. That would not be mothering. That would be smothering, which does not allow for life to promote growth, but prevents it, no matter how well-meaning that overprotection may be. Allowing more contact with the divine means more of life pumps through our being. That is joy, and that can also be agony. These cannot be separated. The devotee of the Divine Mother understands that the connection with the peace of the spiritual presence is not about avoiding life, but becoming strong enough to bear it, to grow through it, to become radiant, a living divine soul made flesh. The Holy Mother protects her child without interfering in what is genuinely required for the soul to become all that is destined to be, a living divine being on earth. When the child suffers, how she howls in agony, feeling every pain as though it were her own. Sometimes that suffering is more than the holy child can bear, and so she intervenes, absorbing the impact and keeping the child safe from harm. At other times, the suffering is a part of life, such as the loss that goes hand in hand with human love. At these times, she is in the pain with her child, but does not try to shield the child from the mysteries of life, which, though painful, sometimes actually feed the soul with the richness of human experience. When the child triumphs, how she dances, ignited in delight and happiness. As her child shines true, she is willing to bear it because that is the gift of life through which the soul is empowered into divinity. The oracle of Our Lady of the Rose Child comes with a special message. If you have been suffering, do not believe that the mother has turned away from you. She is in your heart suffering with you. She is bearing this and asking that you bear it because she loves you, and this is your way to outgrow that which is too small for your future. Your breaking heart is the seed cracking open so that new life can begin. She is protecting you from unnecessary struggle, yet there are challenges which are essential for your soul to grow. These challenges will not be withheld from you because you are entitled to become your full self. Her message is this: from any suffering, great love will be born. Surrender into your pain to find the path through it, for that path is there and new life is awaiting you. The mother will help you find the path through any pain or struggle. Nothing is impossible for her love. Know that your current struggle is blessed, and although this may not make much sense to the mind, this message can help the heart find some peace to bear this challenging part of your journey. Know that you are not alone, and the Heavenly Mother walks with you always. Pray to her not for the challenge to be taken away, but for the courage, responsiveness, surrender, trust, and grace required to successfully move through it. You shall be so blessed. And there is a healing process and affirmation, and I will post that for you just like I did yesterday. So that is a beautiful, beautiful energy because it allows us to trust in this divine feminine energy, that she's with us while we are experiencing this, and that we don't really have all that much control over the circumstances because we are meant to go through this in order to really become ourselves. And I just have to tell you that those trucks have been here for 30 fucking minutes doing 2 buildings. Okay, sorry. I can't stand it. I have to move. Please, if anyone lives in Los Angeles and they have a place for me to live, I would like to move into it immediately because I'm going insane in this fucking loud ass apartment. Jesus Christ. Almighty God, Father. Oh my God. All right, I'm dropping all the cards. Fucking damn it. I'm so annoyed by that. And also, just could we, as a human society, start creating things that are quieter? Because, like, that is possible. You know? You can make things quieter. Like, a lot. Okay, sorry. Let's close out the reading with some minor energy that we can just take care of today. God, it's so loud. All right. What can we do today that will help us deal with this release? Oh my God, I can't believe the card that just came out. You better do what I tell you. That's all I'm telling you right now. Just do what I say because it's clearly coming from God. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Please like, subscribe, share, click on all the links. Link in my bio, link on the description box if you're on YouTube, all those things. Please support me. I love doing this job, and I'm only going to be able to do this job if people help support me through abundance, because unfortunately, that is how we do shit in this world. So please, please, please click the links and help support me. There's many, many ways to do so. Thank you so much. All right, now, this is what you need to do today. It's what I already fucking told you to do. Here's your 10 of Pentacles. You need to know what this is. You need to have a really clear understanding of what does make you feel good in this material world and what you want to experience. If you're trying to call in a partner, you need to get clarity about what that partner is like and how they will treat you, and you cannot base it on your past partner, because guess what? That didn't go so well. So write down a list of things that you want. All the things you didn't want, turn those into positives. Like if you didn't want to be lied to, then say, I want somebody who speaks in their truth, clarity, integrity, honesty, etc., right? So don't write what you don't want, but turn what you don't want into what you do want when you write it down. Do this for the place you want to live. I'm going to do this today. I am taking my fear about being able to relocate out of this fucking shithole. Sorry, I need to appreciate it, but goddamn it. I need to take that through Lacey Phillips' Prosperity DI and another one that I need to do. So I'm going to do that today because I really want to deal with this from my situation right now, and I'm taking my focus off of my romantic situation, so I am focused on where I live and my job and what I create and my relationship with myself. But those are the things I'm going to focus on today. So do that. Get clarity. Here's the next thing. 9 of Pentacles. Girl, can you please be single and fabulous? I would really love for this to truly be your energy. Not single and attached to a past energy, but single and fabulous. Single and ready to be honored, respected, loved, adored, cherished. And also not attached to a specific iteration. 9 of Wands. Do some deep healing today. This is being a little bit isolated, maybe not being around others today, maybe don't be on the phone so much, or go out when maybe you were supposed to go out with people, but maybe not. Maybe stay home today. Maybe get your journal, get your notebook, and get this shit sorted, because this is what is going to help you release. And then finally, if you do these things that I'm telling you to do, oh my God. Queen of Wands, which is shining, fiery, in your power, fully seen, fully heard, doing all the things. And the 10 of Cups, your spiritual fulfillment, which is the foundation for the material one. I hope this helped you today. Thank you so much for being here. Again, click on all the things. Help me out. Definitely save this, like this, all of those things. Share it in your story. Share it with your friends. That helps me. I get new followers every day just from people saying like, oh, hey, I think this message can help you. And that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm doing this. I would not be doing this if I wasn't called to do it, because I never knew that I was going to ever do this. Never had any idea. All my life I was like, I'm going to be a rock star and a musician, and that's the only thing I want to do. So this is a real surprise in my life that I do this. And I want to be able to keep doing it because it really brings me a lot of joy to help others. And as I help others, it really does help myself. So thanks again. And I will see you here tomorrow morning. We're going to do another wild card spread, fully focused on divine feminine energy. And then, of course, I'll be here again on Saturday morning. On Sunday, it will be the new time. Yeah, not quite sure what time it's going to be. So I'll get back to you, but it was normally at 12 p.m. Pacific and 3 p.m. Eastern. I think it's going to be closer to 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, but stay tuned to my stories to find out. That's with Grace Strega, and you have the ability to ask us questions at the end of that reading if you want to get personal questions answered, or you can ask us questions about our lives or about tarot or anything you want to know. And that is on Sunday. Now, normally with Grace Strega, we do Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine cards, but I'm going to suggest to her, and I bet she will be into it, we're both going to read for the Divine Feminine on Sunday as well, just to keep my Empress week going, and I think she'll be down for that. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much, and I will see you again here tomorrow on Tuned In Tarot. Goodbye.